Have you ever woken up and felt that something was missing, like a memory you should have had but couldn't reach no matter how hard you tried? For most people, that feeling fades with a shrug. But for Sofia, it became the start of the strangest, most terrifying journey of her life. It began on an ordinary morning. The alarm on her phone buzzed at exactly 7 a.m. She stretched, yawned, and smiled faintly when she remembered that last night had been her birthday. Friends, laughter, candles, the song, the warmth of hugs, it all still glowed in her memory. But when she reached for her phone, the smile froze. There were no photos, no texts, no birthday wishes. The notifications were empty, as though nothing had happened at all. Confused, she walked into the kitchen where her roommate Lila was making coffee. "Hey," Sofia said lightly. "Thanks again for last night. That cake was amazing." Lila blinked at her, puzzled. "Cake? What cake?" Sofia chuckled nervously. "Very funny. The party. My birthday party. Don't tell me you're pretending it didn't happen." But Lila's face remained serious. "Sof, your birthday's next week." The words landed like ice water. Sofia grabbed her phone again, scrolling through old messages, desperate for proof. But every memory she swore had happened yesterday was gone. No photos, no videos, not even a crumb of cake left in the trash. The more she searched, the worse it became. At work, no one mentioned her birthday. Social media was silent. Even the gifts she remembered unwrapping were nowhere to be found. It was as though the entire day had been deleted from existence. By noon, panic had set in. She asked her coworkers if anything strange had happened yesterday. They all shrugged, insisting nothing out of the ordinary had occurred. The news channels skipped directly from the day before yesterday to today without explanation. Yesterday had vanished. Sofia began to doubt herself. Maybe she had dreamed it. Maybe she was losing her mind. But the memories were too vivid, too sharp. The taste of frosting, the sound of laughter, the feeling of candle wax dripping on her hand. Real, undeniable. That night, she sat alone at the train station, unable to shake the gnawing feeling that something was terribly wrong. That's when she noticed him. A man in a ragged coat sitting a few benches away, staring directly at her. His eyes were bloodshot, his face pale as if he hadn't slept in weeks. When she shifted uncomfortably, he whispered across the empty platform, "You remember too, don't you? The lost day." The words made her heart race. She walked over cautiously. "What did you say?" He leaned forward, his voice trembling. "You shouldn't remember. Most people can't. But some of us, we're cursed to carry it, to know what time tried to erase." Sofia swallowed hard. "Erase? What are you talking about?" The man glanced around nervously as though afraid of being overheard. Sometimes time collapses on itself. A day disappears. It's not random. It's taken, hidden, buried. And the ones who remember, we're left with the weight of something we were never supposed to keep. Before she could ask more, the lights above flickered. The air grew heavy, thick. Shadows pooled in the corners of the station, stretching across the floor like ink. Figures began to form, faint outlines of people without faces. They stood still, watching. The man grabbed her wrist. "Don't look at them too long. They're the collectors. They come for anyone who remembers." Sofia's pulse thundered in her ears. "What do they want from me?" "To take your memory, to wipe it clean, or worse." His eyes darted toward the shadows. "If you resist, they'll erase more than just yesterday. They'll erase you." The next few days were a blur of paranoia. Sofia tried to live normally, but everywhere she went, she caught glimpses of the faceless figures, reflected in windows, standing at the far end of hallways, always watching, always waiting. She tried to forget, but the memory of her birthday clung tighter, as if her mind refused to let go. And then came the dream. In it, she stood in the middle of a dark field. A river of glowing light rushed beside her, filled with thousands of images, moments, days, lives. She understood instinctively that this was the river of time. At the edge of the current stood the ragged man, He pointed at her and said, "Step in, let it wash the lost day away, forget, and you'll be free." But when she looked closer at the river, she saw flashes of her friends, her family, even herself. Erased versions, lives that had been swallowed, and at the very center of the current, she saw the truth. Yesterday hadn't been erased by accident. Someone had altered it. Someone had stolen it. When she woke up, her pillow was damp with tears, and on her nightstand lay a scrap of paper she didn't remember writing, "Find the one who rewrote the day." Determined, Sofia began to investigate. She retraced every step from her missing birthday. She visited the bakery where she had ordered her cake. The woman behind the counter swore Sofia had never come in. She questioned her friends. Each of them had no memory of celebrating. But then she found something chilling. In a trash bin behind her apartment building, buried beneath old papers, was a candle, a birthday candle half melted with wax still stained by her fingerprint. Proof. She wasn't crazy. The day had happened. But someone had made the world forget. Desperation clawed at her. She tracked down the ragged man again, cornering him in a rundown cafe. "Tell me the truth," she demanded. "Why was my day erased?" His hands shook as he stirred his coffee. Because someone changed it, someone powerful enough to bend the current of time. But the universe doesn't allow such theft, so it hides the evidence. It buries the day. "Who did it?" she pressed. He looked up, eyes haunted. "Maybe you don't want to know." But she did. That night, the shadows came closer. She awoke to find one standing in her room, its faceless head tilted, fingers reaching for her. Terror surged. She screamed, but when the lights flicked on, it was gone. In its place lay her phone, and on the screen, a video she didn't remember recording. It was her at her birthday party, laughing, singing, alive. But in the background of the video, she saw something that made her blood run cold. A man. The same ragged man from the station, watching from the corner. Her stomach dropped. He hadn't been a stranger at all. He had been there. On the lost day. The next time she confronted him, she came with trembling hands and fire in her voice. "You were there. You erased it, didn't you? Why?" The man's eyes filled with tears. "Because you were supposed to die that night." The words shattered her. He explained that a drunk driver had been destined to hit her on the street outside her apartment. She was supposed to be gone, but he had interfered. He had pushed her out of the way, altering the flow of time. To save her, he had stolen the entire day. "The universe doesn't forgive theft," he whispered. "It tried to erase you, to balance itself, and now the shadows won't stop until they do." Sofia's knees buckled. Everything made sense. The erasure, the whispers, the collectors. She was living on borrowed time, clinging to a day that was never meant to exist. She faced a choice. Step into the river of time and let it wash her memory and her survival away, or fight to keep the stolen day, knowing the shadows would never rest. Her chest tightened as she remembered the warmth of her birthday, the laughter, the love. A day she was never supposed to have, but one she couldn't bear to lose. The collectors closed in, their whispers filling the night. Sofia stood tall, her heart pounding. And for the first time, she made a choice of her own. She ran straight into the shadows. The world fractured. Light exploded, and when it cleared, Sofia was gone. But somewhere, deep in the current of the river, a single day glowed brighter than all the rest. A day that should never have been, but refused to be forgotten. Because sometimes the most powerful moments of our lives are the ones that time itself tries to erase.